Listen, Brian here with your live show. We're live 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Welcome. So yesterday I said the Braves would smash the Phillies. Brian took the Phillies. Got me on that one. I think we're about even on these things. For some reason,
I probably could pick another game on here where you got me on it.
yeah. And the thing is, like, for some reason, you know, there's the trolls in the YouTube comments. There's this guy in Canada, Kevin McKetchy or something like that, who thinks that for some reason, when I'm right, it doesn't count, and when you're right, I deserve to get beaten up by him in the YouTube comments, and that it's okay, and I should just leave his comments trashing me, and that's what full transparency means. I always thought full transparency was, you know, showing your actual record, a record of your picks, and, you know, kind of showing up win or lose, right? Isn't that kind of full transparency? Or does that mean, does full transparency mean that you're allowed to let the trolls beat you up in the comments?
Yeah.
I certainly don't go to other people's businesses and trash their business to their audience in front of them. I certainly don't. I trash them here in front of our audience.
Well, I remember you liked Seattle and I liked Texas yesterday. That was a loser for me on the Rangers.
Yeah, I mean, I think we disagree on enough games over the course of a year that it probably even goes on runs one way or another. You know, it's like we probably pick, let me see, 365 days a year. We probably pick, I don't know, 10 games a day minimum. We probably disagree on half of them. So, you know, 1,700 picks a year that we disagree on. I mean,
no,
minimum,
if I could take a pass,
minimum.
I guess we wouldn't disagree.
Yeah, we could just take a pass 2 days in a row. Those of you that have my yearly, weekly, and monthly packages and 3-day packages especially would appreciate that. I'm sure. I don't understand the taking a pass. There's no nobility in taking a pass. It's called laziness. I think that if you can't find a pick on a day where there's 10 games, you're just too lazy. Because here's the way that I look at it. Rufo will tell me if I'm wrong because that's the type of guy he is. You have the side, right? Total.
Side and total, so 20 different.
Total is 20 right there. First five innings total. So that's 40 right off the bat. Nerfy, 50. I don't know. There's 50 that I named. You can't find one pick that you say, I would bet on this. Out of 50 games, you don't think 2% of everything on the board is bettable? I don't know. Tough to win the world championship without putting a pick in. That's all I got to say.
Well, you can't lose if you don't pick anything.
But you can't win either. I'm not in this to not lose. I'm in it to win it. Did not win yesterday, I'll tell you that much. I had my chances. You know, I had the Marlins, and they had second and third with nobody out in the 7th inning, down by 2 runs, and struck out 3 guys in a row. And that was it for Castillo. He walked off the field. He waved goodbye to the crowd like he knew that was it for him in Cincinnati. And it was kind of like the way for him to go out, right? I mean, he struck out the side with guys in second and third. It was pretty amazing, actually. And, you know, it's fitting for him because I believe he will land somewhere else when all is said and done.
For me, it was the Boston Red Sox getting down early, coming back and taking a lead, and then blowing it in the 9th inning. So that was my loss.
What was with that? And then I had the Cardinals, though. And I know, you know, no one will say anything about that, right? Is that
you had the Cardinals money line, right? I had plus 1.5.
Yeah.
So.
Plus two and change with Adam Wainwright pitching against Kevin Gausman. How perceptive.
But you have the same type of scenario in Toronto today, kind of. Not that we didn't get into today's games yet, but it's not as good as yesterday with Wainwright, though.
No, not as good as with Wainwright. Albert Pujols did not care what the odds were in that game. The machine. Shelley the Machine Levine. Better machine, Albert Pujols or Shelly the Machine Levine, Ruffalo? Do you know Shelly the? We can't hear you, but do you know Shelly the Machine Levine?
No, I don't. That's why I'm sorry. I'm saying Albert Pujols probably for me.
Oh man, do yourself a favor after this show.
Okay.
Go to YouTube.
Yeah.
Google on YouTube. Search Glenn Gary, Glenn Ross, Alec Baldwin scene.
Okay.
And I'm telling you, do that. That's your homework.
Okay.
We'll talk about it tomorrow morning.
Okay.
I thought he was supposed to watch Breaking Bad.
Well, that's
Yeah,
that's his other list. I mean, this is
That's my year-end assignment.
All right.
this is the short list. This is the easy one. That scene from Glenn Gary, Glenn Ross is one of the all-time. Baldwin's only in the movie for that scene, and it's probably 5 to 10 minutes max. And so Glenn Gary, Glenn Ross has Baldwin, Spacey, Al Pacino, Jack Lemmon. It's like an all-star cast. Alan Arkin. It is an all-star cast. And Alec Baldwin has this great scene, and it's just like they're doing a sales contest. First prize is a Cadillac. Second place, set of steak knives. Third place, you're fired. And it's like, put that coffee down. Coffee is for closers. It's like it is awesome. It is. You will love it. You see this watch? It costs more than your house. What's my name? Oh, I can't even say it on here. Blank you. That's my name.
I'm gonna start using that.
Oh, you're gonna watch this scene. You're gonna be like, oh my god, it's the best. But you got to watch Breaking Bad. It was an odd Better Call Saul this week, right, Brian?
Yeah, it was. I was trying to figure out what was going on there.
Every show like this, right? What's the soccer guy? The coach, the one.
Ted Lasso.
Ted Lasso always has an episode like this. It was the one this year. It was the one where they were kind of like he was kind of like lost. Not Ted Lasso, but the assistant coach lost. Like, and he ends up in some club, right? Like walking the streets. Remember that one? There was like a full episode where it's just like he's lost walking the streets with like two of the other guys from the team. He ends up at this underground club dancing, and it's like that was the whole show. And for Better Call Saul, last year was the one where he was lost in the desert.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah, that was a much better episode.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It was, but they always have an episode like that where it's kind of like out of the blue, really doesn't seem relevant to the whole rest of the story, right?
Yep. I'm just trying to figure out what the hell is going on.
Yeah, me too. But it all ties together. It will all tie together at some point because obviously this guy knows who he is, and they're from Albuquerque, right? So it's like they're connected in some way. And then, there's 3 episodes left, and I guess they say that Bryan Cranston and will be in this too.
Well, you referenced him in this last episode.
Yeah. So it should be interesting.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, me too. It's 3 more episodes. Really one of the all-time great shows, I would have to say. It's up there.
Without a doubt.
I'd say it's in that, Breaking Bad, Sopranos discussion, This one is in there. Mad Men, I think, is in there. There's just a handful of shows like this. That, once in a while, Seinfeld, right? These are like, the holy grail of shows. Ruffalo, of course, took a pass on those. Anyway, speaking of taking a pass, we got 10 games today, and we will cover them all here on our show, as we always do. Let's get to the picks. I know people get sick of it.
Well, we could just come on and say we're taking a pass and then sign off.
Just take a pass today. I'm taking a pass. Taking a pass. Marlins and the Reds. Graham, kiss my Ashcraft on the mound. You got Brian Bittler's had a falling out with Jordan Lyles. He got good. Up against
I don't
Tampa
think
Bay
I
Rays.
gave. I didn't give up on Jordan Lyles.
Gave up. He had a winning record. You gave up on him. It's like
I don't think so.
It's like your ERA drops below 5.7. You're out of the Bittler rotation.
Yeah, I'm gonna get Kikuchi back in this one.
It's like
Jesus Christ.
it's like if Brian's agent's got to call into Kikuchi. It's like, we got room for you. We got space for you reserved. And then Jameson Talion, who used to be in Bittler, is also a Bittler guy now. He's a minus 235 guy up against Brady Singer and the Royals, who I have to say, as bad as the Royals are, they're not quitters, right? It's like we can badmouth the Royals for the quality of play, but they're not quitters, by any stretch of the imagination.
They hurt me yesterday as well. That was my other premium loss.
Chris, what do you think of these?
This Yankee series is totally for convenience, so that they don't have to fly out of Andrew Benintendi. You can just walk his stuff over to the Yankees after he's done. But I'm going to take the Royals in this one. I don't see Jameson Taillon as a minus 235 pitcher. And Brady Singer, the Royals have won his last 4 starts. He's been their best shot at a win more often than not over the last couple months. And I think if the Royals are going to win one, to me it seems like it's probably here. So I'll go with the Kansas City Royals in that one. I'll also go with Cincinnati. Graham Ashcraft, he's been better at home. He has been rocked in a couple of his last few home starts. But the Marlins just aren't scoring enough to be able to contend with the Reds right now. And I think Ashcraft, being able to throw 100 with regularity, will be able to keep this Marlins lineup at bay and get the Reds a win here.
Yeah, for me in this time slot here, I agree with Chris, but I'm going to wuss out and take the plus 1.5 with the KC Royals. I think Singer's had a nice run of quality starts, 3 in a row for Brady. I think he gets another one today. Jameson Taillon, way overpriced. I just think this Yankee team's not playing the best baseball recently. I think it's a 1-run game. Take the Royals plus 1.5, and then out of the other 2 games, I'm going to stick with the Baltimore Orioles. I'm a little worried because more people are betting them now. Yeah, they're losing a little bit of value, but Yarborough hasn't been very good with Tampa. Jordan Lyles, I think he's had 2 off starts in a row. I think he's due to get back on track. I'll take Baltimore early.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you on the losing value stuff with the Orioles, but there's still value in winners, a team that wins. There's always value. I think I'd rather have the Orioles at minus 120 than minus 220. That's for sure. But, it's the Tampa Bay Rays, a team that's, 8 games over 500, that you're laying odds against. So,
but under 500 on the road.
Yeah,
4 games
under 500 on the road. And then Brady Singer against Talion. Yeah, I'm going to fade the Yankees as often as possible. 33 games over 500. It projects them to 110 wins now. So we have seen a regression, in the Yankee progression on the pace that they're on, and 4-6 in their last 10 games. I'm going to take the Royals here, who are also 4-6 in their last 10. It's like the Royals 4-6 is just better than the Yankees 4-6, isn't it? We got the Pirates taking on the Phillies, and speaking of Kikuchi, rock and roll Kikuchi coup up against the Detroit Tigers. Chris?
Yeah, I like the under in this Pirates and Phillies game. Zach Wheeler, he's starting to shape into the ace of the Phillies rotation, at least based on his play over the last couple months after a rough start to the year. But I think he'll be able to hold down this Pirates lineup. But I don't expect the Phillies to do much damage off of Zach Thompson either. Everybody's talking about Jose Quintana, and for good reason, because he's the guy that's likely going to move at the deadline. But Zach Thompson, it's been a pitcher that's rarely given up more than 2 runs in a start. I think this one's 1st to 4 wins kind of game, so give me the under in that one. And I'm going to lean towards the over in the Tigers Blue Jays. The Tigers hit lefties better than they do against righties, and I don't trust Kikuchi off of the injured list. He wasn't very good before he went on the injured list, but I also expect Toronto to bounce back as well. So give me the over in that one.
Brian?
Yeah, for me in this slot, I think the best value here is taking the Detroit Tigers plus 1.5. The Tigers have the 4th best bullpen ERA in baseball. And to me, I think it's going to be a bullpen game because I think Alexander will be out after 3 or so. I just think minus 220 for Kikuchi. He's way overpriced. I think the Tigers can keep it within 1 on the road. The Tigers on the run line. What are they? God damn my notes. Anyway, I like the Tigers plus 1.5 here. I think they keep it close.
I'm going to continue to fade the Philadelphia Phillies. I know it didn't work out for me yesterday, but it has worked out tremendously well since the All-Star break and before then. The Phillies are underachievers and are lazy and a couple other things that we could mention. But on top of that, it's like if they're given the opportunity to look lazy and to have an excuse to kind of be disinterested in a game, well, they will take full advantage of that every single time that they can and just play the part. And I look for them to play the part here. Zach Wheeler's been disappointing his last few outings. I think if minus 200 I'm seeing out there on him.
I want to know about. I got to stick up for Wheeler. I don't know about disappointing. I mean, he had that start where he gave up 6 runs, but if you take that out of the equation, 7 innings, 1 run, 7 innings, no runs, 7 innings, no runs. So I'm out. But I think Zach Thompson's underrated.
Yeah, but Wheeler, last time out, his team lost. The game before that, his team lost.
So they don't get run production for him.
Yeah, well, that's what it is when you're a number 1 or number 2 pitcher. You're going to have to face off against number 1 or 2 pitchers. And he's the lesser of the 2s and the lesser of the 1s, and that's the issue here for him. When you're in that rotation with Kyle Gibson, the expectations are
Gibson
didn't
pitch that bad yesterday.
The expectation is just a little higher. And if you want to take Kikuchi at minus 225, good luck to you. I'm taking Tyler Alexander and the Detroit frickin' Tigers. 3-7 and a horrific 16-32 on the road. I know Toronto's 8-2 in their last 10, but this is the same team that really fell flat on their face. And most of that was on the road, and they had a horrific losing streak. They have come out of it, and they're playing well, but this team is so overrated. I would say that of the teams that are probably going to make the playoffs, I think you could put a firm circle around the Blue Jays that I won't bet them in the playoffs one game. Not once. I don't care who they're playing. Who would you take, Brian? Seattle or Toronto?
Oh, Seattle.
Exactly.
But let's say Toronto's at home playing the Yankees, and Toronto's got Gausman going.
And Goldschmidt and Arenado aren't playing. That's the only game that they win, and even that they couldn't win. They couldn't even win with that. So it's like this team is not a good team. They're not good enough. Not good.
Maybe
enough.
They'll make a move at the.
They will make a move. They are always movers. Toronto, the teams that always make a move. Toronto, Houston. These are the teams that make the moves always. Toronto makes big moves. Houston makes big moves.
Roger Clemens, Ricky Henderson, Toronto big moves.
They do make big moves. They make
Dave
big
Stewart.
moves. Robbie Ray. Hyun-Jin Ryu. Jose Barrios last year, right, at the trade deadline. They make Barrios was the guy. He was the Soto Otani last year. He ended up here in Toronto, where he joins George Springer as a mound of disappointment. That was the Maple Leaf wine. That wasn't even a Blue Jay sigh of disgust. That was a pure.
Because I can't disagree with any of it. Because George Springer, he hasn't been able to stay healthy. But sometimes when he is healthy, he does have glimpses of the good George Springer, but it's not consistent. That's what they need. But I think they're going to go out. I think they're going to make a move for Luis Castillo. I really do. I think that's the kind of mid-level start, and they need to get bullpen help too. So,
outside of that, a great bunch of guys. What are you selling today?
I got my $15 pickoff play. Had to settle for a push yesterday, but I'm going for the win today. I got that play. I also have my throw 'em out Thursday 3-pack. That $15 play included in the 3-pack for a total of 3 plays for $40 at Pick Dogs Premium. Also, make sure you check out Christmas in July. 3 days left to take advantage of those long-term discounts.
No one gets taken advantage of more than Ruffalo. Brian.
Absolutely.
What about me? I get taken advantage of. Damn it. Anyway, 5 of the last 7 days.
I want to be taking advantage of
Only Brian would be proud of that.
Yeah.
Since coming back from the All-Star game, I've had profitable days at 5 of 7. Yesterday, I hit a 1 and 2 stumbling block, but you can get my best bet for $15 by Titanium play. Really love this play. Small card, but a strong one. And for the last Christmas in July special for me, I got my preseason NFL pass up there for just $50. Usually do between 10 and 14 NFL preseason plays, so that breaks down to about $4 a play. So, make sure you check it out. It'll be available for 3 days yet.
I'm gonna run I got my Christmas in July yearly for $9.95, but I'm gonna run from now until the end of the year for $500. I'm gonna put that up today. Just get all my plays from now to the end of the year. It'll include the NFL, any baseball, college basketball, NBA basketball. Of course, you won't get the playoffs or the Super Bowl or anything like that, but you get a pretty solid deal, half a year, $500. Get August, September, October, November, December. So 5 months, $500, $100 a month for the you get some of the big boys in there. You don't get March Madness. You don't get you don't get the playoffs.
I think they should
you don't
your year pass would be done.
You don't get the NHL. But I also have my $15 big play. Anyways, we talked about the Marlins Reds game already, so I have to catch the replay. Anyways, got the Dead Sox up against the Guardians of the Galaxy, and then the best series of the weekend, at least today, Houston Mariners. Chris?
Yeah, I'm going to go with a bit of a same game parlay for that Seattle game. I'm going to go with the under 8, parlayed up with the Seattle Mariners plus 1.5. I just envision it being a low-scoring one-run game, kind of like a 3-2, maybe even 4-3 kind of game. But Logan Gilbert pitches better on the road. Jose Urquidy does pitch well at home, but I just really like what I'm seeing from Logan Gilbert, and I think that's where the value is going to be in this one. So I'll go with that same game parlay. Seattle plus 1.5 and the under 8.
Well, for me in that time frame, me and Chris are pretty much simpatico. I'm going to wuss out a little bit. I'm going to take the Seattle Mariners plus 1.5. It's a little juicy, but this team loves to play close one-run games, and I love Logan Gilbert on the mound. Seattle has struggled at Houston, but with Gilbert on the mound, 2.77 ERA and a 1.13 WHIP, I like this guy's stuff. I think Seattle has a good chance to win, but I think it's safer to take them plus 1.5.
I like him on the money line for Logan Gilbert. I think that Seattle, the beating they took at home against the Astros last weekend, I think, they get a revenge. We see this all the time between first and second place teams, where the first place team will go into the second place team stadium and bust them up, and then it comes back the following weekend and it goes the exact other way. And I think that the way the Astros are coming into this one and catching them, here, before tomorrow's big one, that, tomorrow's the big one in this series. So Logan Gilbert kind of gets a favorable matchup here. Instead of catching Verlander, tomorrow, he catches Urquidy today. And then, it's Verlander against Robbie Ray tomorrow. I was watching the Seattle game, and Logan Gilbert's actually a pretty funny guy. He was they're doing some car promotion or something, and he's driving the car, and the reporter is sitting in the passenger seat. And basically, Gilbert is sitting in the back seat driving the car. He's like, he's super tall, So it's like he's sitting in the back seat, like almost of the back seat, like it's back as far as it can possibly go with it, like lean back, And he's like, yeah, I'm used to sitting in the back seat when driving a car. It's funny, Anyways, I think he's in the driver's seat in this one.
I've never been in the back seat. Nope.
I'm gonna guess you haven't been. Brian was the designated driver on prom
Although
night.
it is fun to get driven around. If I had a car service, that would be neat to be in the back.
All right.
I'm ready for the next slot.
Ron's like, Belvedere, where's my monocle?
Belvedere, where's my slot?
Jeez.
Anyways, we got the Rockies and the Dodgers. We all know how the Dodgers play in Colorado. Right? I mean, pretty much we've been down this road before. It could be the farewell game for Shohei at home against the Rangers. More than likely is the way things are talking now, especially with Mike Trout's career in jeopardy. And then the Chicago Cubs looked very, very good to start the All-Star. After the All-Star break, the Giants have looked really bad. But there's a big but here, and that is the Giants played all their games on the road. They played the Dodgers, the first 4 of those on the road. Then they played, the Diamondbacks, who played pretty well, and the Cubs were home against the Pirates. So a little bit different story here, and also in Philadelphia against, the quitters, the quitters of quitters. Yeah, but are they going to lose 8 games in a row?
Yep.
So Justin Steele, you just love Justin Steele. You just love him.
I do.
I
think that's one of the
you
best
and
plays
Romanelli
on the
are
board,
just
the
like
Cubs.
enamored with this guy.
Well, he has a good FIP.
Yeah.
What can you say? His FIP is.
I think you're checking out something else closer to the hip than the FIP. Anyways, Chris, what do you think of these 3?
Well, I'm going to lean towards the Texas Rangers plus 1.5. I know Shohei Ohtani has been really the only option for the Angels to get a win on the mound in the last month and a half, but I'm just not up to paying minus 220 for the Angels or even chasing a run line. I think the Texas Rangers have those bats that are fully capable of getting to Ohtani, Corey Seager, Marcus Semien, and Spencer Howard hasn't been terrible. I think he's capable enough to help the Rangers stay in this one. So give me the Texas Rangers plus 1.5. I'm gonna go with the under 8 between the Cubs and Giants. Alex Wood, one of the more unlucky pitchers by a lot of the metrics in baseball this season, and Justin Steele, he's been one of the more consistent options for the Cubs. So I think it's just going to be a low-scoring game. I think neither side's going to want to give up an inch, and I think it's a 3-2 game, whichever way you have it going. So give me the under in that one.
I think you're a dumbass. Anyways, that's what I think. Spencer Howard's not bad, number 1. And then number 2, it's like 2 teams that pummel left-handed pitching. It's like, I'll take the under. And 2 lefties going. I mean, both these teams just absolutely crushing lefties. And
the Cubs are more than capable of putting up a clunker. We've seen it. I'm not banking on this hot streak from the Cubs. And the Giants, yeah, they lost all their games on the road, but I need to see them turn it around before.
How about when Ohtani walks off? What are you gonna do when Ohtani walks off the mound in the 3rd inning of that Angels game, and they put up on the board that he's been traded to the Giants? What do you think that's gonna do? Because that is a very big possibility here. I think he's going to the Giants. I might be wrong. A lot of people saying New York. It's a possibility, but I think the Giants are a great fit for him, and it's like it's out of the division, it's out of the league, it's out of everything. It's like you're not trading him to the Yankees, you're not trading him to the Mets or something. It's like this is, yep.
All right, if it's my turn in this slot, I think this is the strongest slot on the board. Boy, I don't even know where to start. I think easily the Rockies plus 1.5 could have been a premium play for me. We just seen the series a few weeks ago. I think the Rockies have every chance to win this game, but plus 1.5 here, plus money, count me in. I'll take the Texas Rangers plus 1.5 against the Angels. I think everybody will be making love to Ohtani at minus 1.5. Spencer Howard stinks, but I just think this game turns into a shootout when Ohtani gets pulled early, and I'll take the Rangers plus the 1.5. And the Chicago Cubs, I'll take them on the money line. They're playing good baseball. Winners of 6 straight, Giants losers of 7 straight. Justin Steele, 6 of the last 7 starts have been strong starts. And you compare, he's going up against Wood. I'll take the Cubbies on the road here.
What's it like making love to Ohtani since seem to be familiar with the term.
Love to Ohtani.
Well, I mean, you seem to have experience in this area.
This Angels team
you brought it up, not me.
The Angels are brutal at minus 220. I don't care that they won the last 2 games. Who cares? And they got that news about Trout today. Maybe they're feeling down. I don't know. We'll see. I don't think they should be minus 220 to anybody. I don't care if Babe Ruth is out there pitching.
Just call me.
Should I pull up a lighter?
Dude, start doing lounge act.
Spencer Howard stinks.
Call me. Be afraid to just call me. It's like songs you've heard at a bad wedding. My wife's giving me the look. Yeah, I like the Angels also. I think Shohei puts on a show here to say goodbye to the home folks. I think we see his most dominant performance of the season. I think a potential 1-hitter, no-hitter, 20 strikeouts. It's going to be something special here when he says thank you to the people of Los Angeles for supporting him, launching his career, and setting his way on. What does Ohtani get, as far as a salary, when he renegotiates next year?
I would say at least $45 million a year.
Yeah, it's going to be $40 to $45 million. It's got to be. The market value is $51 million. That's what they put it out there as.
Is it going to be Soto money?
He's way more worth way more.
Yeah, because he can pitch. He's a Cy Young.
He has pitching. He has pitching numbers that are better than like these. Than like Scherzer. Who makes 43 million. He has better pitching numbers than him. He has better pitching numbers than Cole, who makes 35 million. So he has better numbers than them. And then hitting wise, he has better numbers than like Greg Olson that makes like 25 million. So I mean, he is worth, essentially he's worth $55 to $60 million just like a year is what he's worth.
Yeah.
I know it's crazy, but that is what he's worth.
I thought of the Soto number and then forgot about the fact that they offered him 15 years, so it broke down to $30 million a year.
Yeah, but even then, though, Ohtani is worth that as a hitter.
Oh yeah.
As a pitcher, he's worth another 30 to 35. He's not going to get that, but still, you got to figure he's going to get 40. He's got to. I think he has a big one here, kind of like Castillo did yesterday.
I think you're dreaming.
I don't think so. I also love the Rockies with you guys. The Dodgers just go to Coors, and they go there to die. The Dodgers go to Coors to die. That's what they do. Why do they die at Coors so much?
Thin air, they can't breathe.
1-4 in their last 5 in Colorado. But they have dominated the Rockies overall. You know what time it is? It's time for a good old-fashioned parlay. We're not passing, we're parlaying.
I love my parlay today. Take the Seattle Mariners plus 1.5, the Colorado Rockies plus 1.5, and then the best team in Chicago on the money line, the Cubs.
I'm going to take the Cincinnati Reds on the money line. I'll take the under 8 between the Mariners and Astros, and I'll take the Kansas City Royals.
I'm going to go with the Kiss My Ashcraft. Go with him with Brady Singer, since I'm singing today. We're all singing. And then we're going to parlay it with the Pirates on the reverse run line against Zach Wheeler. Anyways, thanks everyone for joining us. Make it a winning day. We appreciate each and every one of you. You guys make my morning special. Thank you for joining us. Thanks, Chris and Brian, for being part of it. Be sure to take advantage of Christmas in July. It doesn't last forever. It only lasts through July. I'm going to put up that special in just a couple minutes as well. End of the year.
3 days.
$5. That's a steal. It's stealing money. How many plays do you get a day? A truckload.
No, during the college football season, you're doing like 12 plays on a Saturday.
It could even be more if the card calls for it. I don't know. Is LSU playing Western Kentucky this year?
I get out of control when I start putting 7-packs up there. So that's when I start going crazy.
Brian's going crazy.
It never ends well. There's usually a 3 and 4 day when I do a 7.
It's the way the cookie crumbles. Thanks, everyone, for joining us. Ruffalo, stop drooling over the cookies. Have a great day.